Oh, hi again. Welcome to Intro to Fingerstyle with Flight Ukulele and me again, Sammy. Hi there. Okay, so I hope we've been practicing since our last session where we talked about these 3 fingerstyle patterns that I recommend to play. If not, mate, what you're doing here, go and watch that first. Right, so today we're going to take those 3 fingerstyle patterns and we're going to upgrade the left hand a little bit, okay? So we're still primarily focusing on getting our right hand technique really nice before we start thinking about anything fancy. So there are ways that we can have nice sounds, nice changeable sounds, while still having an easy left hand. And let me talk about it. Okay, so we're going to play 3/4. 3 is a lie. We're going to play 4 different chord shapes, okay? And each one is a variation of a C chord. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to play a C chord, but I'd like you to play it on the 7th fret of your A string. Now, if you're like, Sammy, what is the name of this chord? I'll be like, well, that is a C chord. I know, right, that is also a C chord. Nothing fancy, that is just another C. This is the C that we all love and grow up with on our 3rd fret, but the 7th fret is also a C chord. Okay, so he's quite a nice one. So if ever you have, you're playing through some chords and you see a C chord, remember you can use the C chord on the 7th fret like that, because he's a charming chap. Oh, yes. Okay, we're going to start with this kid, and I'm going to recommend you start with your ring finger, but if you want to use your index finger to move down everything, that is also okay. So just get used to that 7th fret C chord for the moment. Right, our next movement will be to the 5th fret A string. Ooh, there we go. That chord is actually called a C add 9, so it's still a C, but with some extra spice. Okay, so he's called a C add 9. Next, we're going to move down to our C chord. Good friend. And then finally, we're going to move down 1 fret to the 2nd fret, which is a C major 7 chord. Now, it's not massively important that you know the names of the chords that we're playing, but I think it's always good to know that, right? So we have a C chord on the 7th fret, and again, I recommend ring finger. And then we're going to go to C add 9. Now, realize that my index finger is already there, pushing down on the 5th fret, waiting, okay? So there's no point leaving it there and then moving there, because that's 2 movements I have to make. And mate, I'm already thinking about too many things. That's too much hard work. So instead, when you line it up, make sure both the fingers are already there, because only the 7th fret will make a sound. Then when you remove that finger, there's your next chord. Already there. You already did the movement before you started. Clever you. That's how we're going to tackle that, okay? That's how we should do that. So, C, C add 9, C, and C major 7. Now, we're going to take each of the patterns that we talked about last time and apply them to these chords. But we're actually going to we're going to play 2 bars on each chord. So what I mean by that, if I play pattern number 1, now pattern number 1 was 3, 2, 4, 1. So I'm going to play 2 bars, which technically is 4 patterns per chord. So it should sound like this. Delightful, right? Yes, exactly. Sounds very good, but minimum work on the left hand, so everybody wins. Okay, let's break that down. So, we've already talked about our chords. 7th fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret. Those are all our variations of C. Okay, so I'm going to play pattern number 1 4 times in a row. So that will be 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1. Remember the layout? We're going thumb, index, thumb, middle. Okay. The biggest thing again to make sure here is that everything is nice and even. Okay, we're going 1 and 2 and. So you have perfect control over your fingers. If we sort of have a clumsy thumb, which is always the most normal thing to do because it's not used to moving between. If the rhythm doesn't sound really robotic, then we just have to slow it down and really tackle it, because getting quicker, the only way to do that is making sure that the basics, the slow, the fundamental is absolutely spot on, okay? If that's not there, we can't get faster. Boring, mate, I know, but that's the way it's got to be, okay? So trust me on that. Okay, so again, we will play pattern 1 4 times. So if I was counting rhythmically, I'd be going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and I then want to change to the next chord straight away. C chord on and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. C major 7 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Right. Take that at whatever pace. Now we've upgraded it because now you've got to think about some left hand, okay? So because that movement is there, you might find that the right hand either, 1, completely stops when we're changing, which means we have to play slower, or 2, you might end up clumsily, one of your fingers might do something else, okay? They're still learning. Be really patient with them, okay? They're just babies. So basically be really patient with them. Take it nice and slow, okay? So if you like, you can practice each chord on its own. So obviously last time we were only playing 1 bar, so 2 patterns. And this time we're playing 2 bars, 4 patterns. Okay, so maybe just to start with, just get used to playing the pattern 4 times. Have a nice breather, make sure your left hand is in the right place. And when you're confident running through each chord, then start to really take it. So we get the changes in. Now, say, right, a really common thing is we do an absolutely lovely job. Oh, yes, I'm loving this. Yes, I'm very good. I'm very good. And it's when the chord change happens and that basically everything goes crazy because our brain is like, that can happen, right? If you find that consistently happens, what I recommend is just practice the chord change on its own. Because more than likely we will go, okay, fine, I'll start again. And you're going to play that 4 pattern, and then by the time you get there, your brain is already on overload. So just practice the change on its own. So I would go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop. If I was happy with that, take a good breath, and there we go again. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Cool. Okay, so that change is sounding pretty good now, right? So now I will play the pattern on this chord twice. 1 and 2 and 3. Stop. So it's almost like you work backwards from the problem, okay? Because if we play all the nice things and then every time we get to the problem we screw up, your muscle memory will learn that very quickly, right? And we end up on this spiral where we're like, oh no, why is this constantly happening? Ukulele goes out the window and then, you know, it's not very cool. So practice can be really frustrating. So rather than just repeating the same thing and getting annoyed with yourself, ask yourself, where is the actual problem? Isolate it, attack it. And that's how we get better. Okay, pattern number 2. So pattern number 2 was our 4, 2, 3, 1. 4, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so this is how it should sound, okay, if we tackle this. So we're going to go 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2. So I don't mind if we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or whether you're going 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1. Whatever helps you basically manage the whole thing is absolutely fine. The only perk I would say of rhythmic counting is you know exactly when you're done, right? So if you count 4, 2, 3, 1. How many have I done? Uh-oh. Have I done enough? I'm not sure. Wait, no. Mate, I should have finished hours ago. What's going on? That's the only problem, okay? If you can handle counting 4 of those, then that's perfect. That's excellent. But with counting rhythmically, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... I know when I've reached the end, okay? Bit difficult on the old noggin, but you know, other than that, it's okay. Right, so again, same process, 4 patterns per each chord. Okay, take that slow. Right, so finally we have our last pattern. Now our last pattern was 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2. So that involved that thumb coming directly one after another. Okay, so let's see how that sounds, shall we? Okay, so we're going to go 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, that is pattern number 3. So again, exactly the same rules apply. I need 2 bars per chord, or that is 4 patterns. So a little bit slower, that would be, start with our C chord up here. Remember, get that index finger in. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2. Okay, and then we go. Then we have pattern number 3. Okay, so practice each of the patterns, okay, with these chords. I mean, if you're feeling daring, then you can absolutely mix up the order of the chords that we went, because we're going 7, 5, 3, 2. But you could go the opposite. You could go 2, 3, 5, 7, or 5, 2, 3. It doesn't matter. Basically, if you feel like you've mastered it and you want to test yourself a little bit extra further, play the same thing, but just mix the chords up in the order, okay? It's always great that whenever you're given an exercise or when you're given something to think about, it's so easy to basically make so many modifications just by switching the order of things. It's a really good test to see basically how well you can handle these kind of things. Okay, right, perfect. Thank you again for listening to me talk on lots. Practice those really slowly and just listen to my practice tips. Good luck. I will catch you next time. Goodbye.